I guess we have completed last this Tuesday we have completed the introduction part. So the now what we will be going to discuss is how we are going to install a Linux operating system. So here I'll be taking the Debian as a base OS, and then I'll show you how we are going to deal with the installations. So just give me a second, like I need to check where my image is. Right, guys. So let's moving forward. Like I'll just share the desktop environment, and after that, once we complete it, you should require to show me the right. Can everyone see the virtual box? And this is my, I do have a virtual box environment which I have used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new operating system, which we call it as a Debian. So you can go ahead with the machine folder. You can decide where you want to go. Here, once we set the Debian, they are going to select the type as a Linux, the version as a Debian 64-bit. So you can, if you really required, it does not make any sense, but this is just for our reference that they are setting up. So the type and version does not reflect any configuration in the virtual machine. Keep in mind that is for just for our reference that they are showing us. Once you done this, you can set the memory. So this is 16 GB RAM memory that I will be allowing you, that like 3092. And we need to create a virtual hard disk now. So because this is, we are not using any existing virtual hard disk, we have to create a virtual hard disk now, and we go forward. And then they will be asking like where we will be going to set the virtual hard disk. I'm going to use the same locations like home, Shashika, VirtualBox VMs, Debian VDI, and I'll be setting like a 15 GB will be more than enough if you are not doing anything. Just since this machines, obviously I'm not going to use for any other purposes. This is purely using for you this particular test environment and to demonstrate several commands on your environment. Other than that, I don't know, I'm not going to use anything in here. Right, so we can set like VirtualBox disk image. You can select the types, like if you select the QCOW2 image, so that they will be going with the copy on right. So this is the basically the most common hard disk file type which is used in any environment. If you use the VMDK is the compatible versions to the VMware or VM player. VHD is a common format where if you do have the VHD the hard disk file, you can export the same virtual hard disk to the different virtualization platforms. VDI is a virtual disk specific image. If you use the VDI image, you cannot this does not support the cross platform. So that means you cannot export the same hard disk to the different virtualization platform like VM player or whatever the other virtualization platforms. So I'm just going with the QCOW2, like QEMU copy on write image environment. And here you can see the storage on physical hard disk dynamically allocated. The reason why they are going to set the dynamically allocations, you can see that the fixed allocation is freeze. Whenever you selected the others these types only, they are supporting the fixed size, both the fixed size and the dynamically allocations. Like if you select the QCOW2, they're definitely not giving you the dynamically the fixed size in the sense fixed size allocation. This means actually what really it means here is this particular hard disk environment, like what they really want, they are going to do with this one is they will be basically looking at, like, whenever you set the 15 GB hard drive, are you going to specifically, like, if you set the 15 GB, they are going to take the whole 15 GB space from our hard disk and assign to the virtual machine. But if you say the dynamically allocate, even though we didn't utilize the whole 15 GB. So basically, when you install the virtual machine, even though you set to the 15 GB, the actual size that the machine has been gone to most probably 8 GB. They are not utilizing whole 15 GB in the storage, because the rest of the size will be freely available for the utilization. So most probably the actual size that particular VM machine, the Q count image is utilizing is 8 GB. So when you say the dynamically allocated, what they are going to do is they are going to allocate that 15 GB space, but not the actual 50. That they are going to have a room for that one. Then 15 GB එකට ඉඩ තියාගන්නවා. That room will be there created, but they will be not going to allocate the 15 GB whole at once. Dynamically, they are increasing the size. Let's say, for example, at the moment, if the storage is utilizing 8 GB, they are only actually consuming from our physical hard drive is 8 GB. When you sorry guys, when you actually using only, like, when you going forward only, they are going to, like, utilize the rest of the size on the capacity. That is what dynamically allocated means. Are you clear, guys? This is actually not Linux. This is a virtualization environment that we learning. Are you clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any issues, concerns? Right. So now what we will be going to say is we are going to set to the 15 GB. It's a QCOW2 image, and they will say the create. So now it's done. They says that the machine settings has been created. Now what we will be going to do is we are going to start the machine. At the very first thing, they are asking us to select the startup disk. Obviously, what they're asking is the image file. So here, this is just a VBox just additional image file that is not going to use. We need to point it out where we have put our disk image. So this is what we will be going to use, 10.9, and we are going to say choose. So now it has been selected, and they are going to start. So here you can see they are asking, like, whether you will be going to deal with the graphical installations or just the installation. So if you want to have the advanced options, you can have the advanced options. Just press enter. So they will be going to ask graphical expert install, graphical rescue mode, graphical automated install. Likewise, they are going to ask different things.
මිනිමයිස් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ පේන්නේ.
මොකද පේන්නේ නැත්තේ?
අර සර් අපිට පේන්නේ සර් මේ අර VM මොකද VM නේ Oracle box එක on කරපුවාම තියෙන screen එක විතරයි. අර
පොඩ. So now you can see this is what you are getting here. Graphic installations, install, advanced options, accessible dark contrast installer menu, help, install without speech synthesis. So actually they will provide different type of things, but most probably we can choose the graphical install. But if you go for advanced options, the reason why I'm going to show here is when you want to do the troubleshooting, you need to, like, let's say if the Ubuntu machine is totally unreachable, like unresponsive, In that case, what you really want to do is you need to go to the rescue mode. In order to go to the rescue mode, you need to have the Ubuntu CD. See, this is what you have to do. So graphical expert install, graphical rescue mode. These are which used for the for our troubleshooting purposes. But anyway, we will be going ahead with the graphical install, and I'm going to say yes, graphical install. Then they are going to go for a, like you can see that they're asking the language selections. You have to say continue. Select your locations. For the time being, just select the United States, because the keyboard layout will be taken in the United States. Otherwise, they will be taking the, like if you said select the other and set to the Sri Lanka, the keyboard will be set to the Sinhalese keyboard. So likewise, because of that, you just go ahead. So you can see the keyboard usages. You can say American English, then forward. So they are going to say like load install of components from the CD. Now they're asking like a host name, like this is, let's say for example, B1 Debian. Let's say this is the B1 Debian. Now we are going to go ahead with the continue. And you can set the domain name if you really require. That is just for the, it's not really required, that you can skip it. And then here you can see that you need to set the root password. So I'm going to set the root password and then continue. So they are asking the full name of the user. So we are giving the full name of the user. So that is, they are asking the username for the account and asking the password of that one as well. Now we continue. And this is what they are asking is the configuring the time zone. So we are in the actually the Eastern. Unfortunately, since we have selected the USA, they are giving us the Eastern time zone. That's why. No worries, we can change the time zone later. Now we have come to the important one, like use guided, like entire disk, use entire disk, use entire disk and set up LVM, use entire disk and set up encrypted LVM manual. So if you use any of these above three things, that is going to be the automated process. But when you say this is for our learning purpose, I'm just showing you the manual thing. So we are going to set the guided partitioning, like we will be going to say guided partitioning, sorry, manual. And then we need to select the virtual, the hard disk. This is what we say. And then we have to say, yes, collect, use it. You have selected entire device to partition. If you proceed with the creating new partition table on the device, then all current partitions will be removed. Note that you will be able to undo this operation later if you wish. So what we are going to say is, we are going to say yes, entire partition. Now they have been asked this one. So what we will be going to select is, now they are having the hard disk of free size of 16 GB, and I'm going to say continue. So here you can say create a new partition. So first partition is going to be, I'm going to set like 300 MB. And that primary partition type can be set to the primary, and the partitioning has to be start from the beginning. These are, we are going with the default ones. But the mount point, we need to change it. So here, once you double, like see here, once you double click on it, they are going to see. Make a double click කරාම තමයි mount point එක boot එක වෙනවා. Continue කරනවා. ඕනනම් file system type එක මේක අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. මේ ඇවිල්ලා ඔයාලා දැන් disk එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම Windows disk එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම file system type එක දෙන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය NTFS නැත්නම් FAT32 එහෙමනේ. මේකෙත් එහෙමම තමයි. මේකේ මොන file system ඕනනම් මේකේ දැන්ට අපි latestly පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ එක ext4 නැත්නම් XFS දෙකෙන් ඕන එකක් use කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේවා පරණ file system type ext3 ext2 btrfs අලුත් එකක් JFS actually journey file system එකක් මේකෙන් අපිට use කරන්න පුළුවන් එක්ක ext4 නැත්නම් XFS දෙකෙන් ඕන එකක් අවුලක් නැහැ. boot එක මම ext4 දෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ මේක දානවා continue. done මෙතන දානවා done setting up the partition. ටික් එක දැම්මා continue කරා. දැන් පළවෙනි එක ගහලා ඉවරයි. ඊළඟ එක ආයි select කරලා continue කරනවා. ඊළඟට ආයි create a new partition. මෙතන අපි දානවා RAM එකට අමතරව 3GB විතර SAP space එකක්. මම ඔයාලට SAP එකේදී කිව්වා 3GB නෙමෙයි ඊට වැඩිය පුළුවන් නම් ඒ කියන්නේ බලලා දාන්න සාමාන්‍යයෙන් RAM එක 4GB වලට අඩු නම් RAM එක වගේ double දාන්නේ. RAM එක 4GB වලට වැඩි නම් RAM එකේ size එකට තව GB දෙකක් විතර එකතු කරලා දාන්න. මෙතන අපි 3GB තිබ්බේ 6GB දාන්න මොකද hard disk capacity එක මදි හින්දා 3GB ව දාගෙන යනවා. So we just stick with 3GB. That is, I told you that about that previous day formula that I have discussed, that is not actually strict formula, just a formula that we have created. That's it. Again, we can say the primary partition and beginning. And this again, we need to change the mount point here. Like either you can double click on it. You have to say that is here they don't mention the SAP environment. So use as, just click on this one, use as SAP area. So when you select that one, the mount point also will be going that. Like you don't see any mount point because SAP, we are not going to mount to any location. So we just, I'll explain the mounting concepts with the disk management, nothing to worry. Done partition. So we have done two things. And then again, we are going to select the free space. Continue. Create a new partitions. When you're dealing with this like size, you can select everything here. When you're dealing with this this partitioning, you already know, because if you have gone through the computer systems, this is not related to the Linux. The maximum number of primary partitions that we can create is 4. If you want to go beyond the primary partitions, you need to create the logical. Fortunately, here we are not exceeding the maximum number of primary partitions because we only create 3 primaries. So we can stick with the primary selections, nothing to worry. So we just select the primary and then we go ahead. Here I'm going to change the partition, the file system to the XFS. We can have multiple file system. Now, if you can remember, I have selected the boot partition as a ext4, root partition. This is, we don't want to change anything. Root partition as a XFS partition. So likewise, you can say done partition. So once you go there, now you have completed your partitioning. What you can do is you can say finish partitioning and write the changes to the disk. This is what you need to select and continue. Are you clear with this, guys? What we have done so far?
Yes.
Okay. So now we will be continuing it. So they are asking the confirmations, write the changes to this. We say so yes, and we are going to continue. So you can see that they are continuing with the installations. So we have done everything. If you have installed the Linux CentOS, that is pretty much different to the installations that you have done in the, we have done in the Debian. So you can see that still that they are going forward with the installations. In here, we don't ask, in some cases, if you have the experience with the Windows environment, like they will ask the software package that we need to configure. Now you can see the configure the package manager. Your installation CD or DVD has been scanned. It is labeled as is this one. You now the options to scan the additional CDs or DVDs. So here what they asking us to do is, because when you downloading the Debian image or CentOS image, you will be seeing like the size of the CentOS or the Debian is more than 4 GB, at least 4 GB. So if you look at the CentOS image, I think it's a 7 GB, nearly 7 GB, right? So the reason why this particular OSs are sizer than what we expected, because this CD itself, including all the necessary use applications, what you need, like your office packages, everything will be included there. That's why this package is locked. That the size is more than what we have expected. So because of this size, like you can imagine what it contains. So now they are asking, like, if you want to have another CD, like when you download in the Debian, they will give you like CD1, DVD1, DVD2, DVD3, likewise. So like DVD1, actually for the installations we really required only DVD1. But if you really require the other packages, like lot of packages were there, so if you really require those packages as well, then only you require the DVD number 2. Otherwise, you don't want to require, because if you can see here, I just only download number one DVD only. That contain the OS. Rest the second DVD will contain the rest of the packages. In here also it contain the set of packages, but the more packages, if you really require more packages, that will be containing on the second DVD. So that's why they are asking, if you wish to scan another CD or DVD, please insert now. But fortunately, we don't have it. So we are going to say scan another CD or DVD. We say no, and we are going to continue. So they are asking, like, configure the package managers. Unfortunately, I don't do anything. Like, otherwise, what they are going to do is, we are going to learn about these package management concepts. Nothing to worry. I will be just explaining to you. You can, rather than like when you dealing with this, like after once you complete your installations, initial setup of the operating systems, then what you really required is, you don't want to use the DVDs for the downloading packages and installing the packages. What you can do is, you can use their package sourced environment. Like, they have been hosted their packages on different locations. You can download from those locations and install it. So what here they are asking is, do you really want to configure the package managers? So if you want to use the network mirrors, you can say yes, and you can continue. I'll show you that one. When you continue, they are asking the, like, where you want to use it. We are going to use the nearest country, Singapore, because that is our nearest country. Otherwise, we do have a lot of issues. And then they are asking, what is your, like, uh, locations that you are going to download the packages. We said to the deb.debian.org, that they are saying that usually deb.debian.org is a good choice. We don't know, but they say like that. So now we said it. Unfortunately, they are asking the proxy information, since we don't have any proxies in our environment. But if you're going for enterprise environment, sometimes you might have the proxy requirement to put it in order to go to the internet. So here I don't have it, so I just put it like this. Now they are configuring the package management part as well. But this is, like I told you, if you have the experience with the CentOS installations, this is somewhat different. So the installation of the Debian OS and the installation of the what we call it as this one, like the Debian and CentOS is somewhat different. So now they are selecting and installing the software. Even they didn't ask the software customization. You can see now they are continuing with the installations. But in the CentOS, they will ask for the customizations. So configuring proprietary contest. So we don't really require participate in the package usage survey. We don't want to do the package surveying. We just say no. And we will again go ahead. Now, okay, here they ask the customizations. So if you want to use the Debian desktop environment, you can use the Genome, XFSC, KD Plasma, Cinnamon. So you can see there are different type of desktop environment available. If you don't want to have the desktop environment, you just untick it. Your desktop environment will not be available. But when you say the Debian desktop environment, you must say what is the desktop environment that you are going to use it. Like either you can just go ahead with the desktop environment, or you can install the XFSC, KD Plasma. Like there are multiple things that you can install, but I'm going to say like since I don't have much experience with the XFSC, so I'll just install in the XFSC. So the print server is not required for me. Standard system utilities definitely I need to install, and the SSH server that I am going to install. So now I'm continuing with the installations. This is how we will be going forward. Now you can see we are going to install 1,155 packages. So 1 second is remaining. That is going ahead. Are you clear, guys? Do you have any issues, concerns so far what we have discussed? Guys?
සර් ඉස්සල්ලා තිබුණේ ඔය ප්‍රොක්සි සර්වර්ස් එහෙම ඇඩ් කරන්න. ඒවස මේ එතකොට එහෙම කරාම ඒ කියන්නේ ඩිෆෝල්ට් නේද එතකොට එන්නේ. එතකොට මැනුවල් ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද අපි ඉන්ස්ටෝල් කරලා ඉවර වෙලා ඇඩ් කරනවට වැඩිය ඔහොම කරාම ඩිෆෝල්ට් මද වැටෙන්නේ එතකොට.
ඔව් ඔව්. එතකොට මුළු සිස්ටම් එකටම වැටෙනවා. ඉරුණානේ කතන්දර එකපාරට නිස්සබ්දුනේ ඉඳ බැලුවේ.
නෑ නෑ සර් මම ඉතින් සර් තාම මොනාරි කියන්නේ අයියා. ඔව් සර්.
නෑ ඒක දැන් මෙහෙමයි. ඔයා දැන් ඒ දාන ප්‍රොක්සි එක දැම්මොත් එහෙම ඒක සිස්ටම් වයිඩ් ඇඩ් වෙනවා. ඒ ප්‍රොක්සි එක. එතකොට ඔයාගේ මැෂින් එකේ සිස්ටම් වයිඩ් ප්‍රොක්සි එකක් තමයි තියෙනවා. ඉන්ටර්නෙට් යන හැම පාරම මේ ප්‍රොක්සි එක යූස් කරනවා. කොහේ කර නැතත් යූස් කරත් ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා මොකක් කරත් නැතත්. ඒකින්ද අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සිස්ටම් ප්‍රොක්සිස් එතන එහෙම ඉන්සුලේෂන් එකේ දාන්න ඕනේ. ඔක ඔයාලට ඕනෙම නම් පස්සේ දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉන්සුලේෂන් එකෙන් පස්සේ ඔය කරන ගොඩක් දේවල් මේ වගේ කරන ඒවා ගොඩක් දේවල් ඉන්සුලේෂන් එකෙන් පස්සේ කරන්නත් පුළුවන් ඈ. දැන් ඔය ටයිම් එක චේන්ජ් කරන එක, ඊට පස්සේ නෙට්වර්ක් හදන එක, හොස්ට් නේම් එකක් දාන එක අපි කරපු ටික ඒකේ කරන්න බැරි වෙන්නේ පැකේජ් ඉන්සුලේෂන් එකයි ඩිස් මැනේජ්මන්ට් එකයි විතරයි. දැන් අපි ඩිස් පාටිෂන් කරපු ටික ඒ ටික කොහොමත් ඉන්සුලේෂන් එකේදීම කරන් යන්න.
සර් ඔය ප්‍රොක්සි සර්වර් ෆයර්වෝල් වගේ වැඩ කරනවද සර්?
ප්‍රොක්සි සර්වර් එක සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ෆයර්වෝල් එකක් විතරක් වැඩ කරනවා. කියන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි ප්‍රොක්සි සර්වර් එක කන්ෆිගර් කරන්නේ ෆයර්වෝල් එකක් තියෙන එකම තමයි. දෙකම එකයි ප්‍රොක්සි එකයි ෆයර්වෝල් එක කියන්නේ දෙකම එකයි අත්තට.
එතකොට සර් මේ හાર્ඩ්වෙයාර් ෆයර්වෝල් තියෙන්නේ.
ඔව් ඒක ඇතුලේ ප්‍රොක්සි එක ගහන්න පුළුවන් අපිට. හાર્ඩ්වෙයාර් ෆයර්වෝල් එකේම එක ෆීචර් එකක් තමයි ප්‍රොක්සි කියලා කියන්නේ.
හරි සර්.
Right guys, so like you can see here, once you complete this one, like install the grub, this is one of the important thing. You need to install the grub in the sense this is actually the bootloader. If you don't have the grub, just give me a second guys. Sorry guys, so the bootloader is one of the important thing because this will be important for booting up your machine. If you not install the grub bootloader, there were different type of bootloaders. Like grub is one of the software that we can use, but other than that there were multiple grub bootloaders. grub කියලා කියන්නේ bootloader එකේ නමක් ඈ. ඔය වගේ multiple bootloaders තියෙනවා. හැබැයි machine එක boot කරන්න boot loader එකක් ඕනේ. machine එක නැත්තම් up වෙන්නේ නැහැ. You can't boot up the machines. So we need to select the yes and then continue. This is must. So then what they are asking is to which device that we will going to install. It's not the entire disk. We should use the dev SDA, that is the disk which we have used for the partitioning. Partition කරන්න use කරපු එක තමයි දෙන්නේ. Entire device කියලා දාන්න එපා. And now they are finishing it, like now it's completed. So now we can see whether if it is successful, the Debian, like you can see now මෙතනත් පෙන්නනවා යාට මේ තමයි boot loader එක. මේ තියෙන grub එක කියන්නේ මේකට. So you can see the grub. This is called the grub. Boot loader එක කියන්නේ මේකට. මේකේ තියෙනවා දෙකක්. Debian Linux, GNU Linux boot එක, advanced options for Debian Linux. මම මේකට ගිහිල්ලා පෙන්නන්නම්. මේකේ තියෙන්නේ machine එකට මොකක් හරි issue එකක් වුණොත් machine එක boot වෙද්දි මෙතන break මේ grub එක break කරලා අපිට මෙන්න මේ recovery mode එකට යන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් අපිට recovery mode එකට යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒකින් තමයි escape කරනවා. ඔයා කෙලින්ම boot එක දෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් ඔයා log වෙලා ඉන්න. හැබැයි මේකේ තියෙනවා මේ time zone වෙනස් කරන්න ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. ඊට කලින් කරන්න ඕන එක තමයි ඔයාලට පේනවා මෙතන if you go to the devices, what you need to do is you need to insert the guest addition CD image. මේකෙන් කරන්නේ මේක මේ VM එක manage කරන්න ලේසි වෙන තමයි දෙන්නේ. මේක අපි root log ගෙමු. So we first logged into the root. So username has to be root, password what you have given. Even you can use the අර කලින් create කරපු user වත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේ ඉන්නේ දැන් welcome to the first start panel. It says the choose the below which step you want to first start up. මේකේ ඔයාලා default config එක දෙන්න ඕනේ startup panel එකට 1 empty panel ද default config එක දුන්න ගමන් මේ තියෙන දැන් මේ panel එක startup එකේ මේ තියෙන මේ තමයි XFSC මේක මේ genome KD නෙමෙයි graphical interface එක XFSC මේ තියෙන මේක ටිකක් වෙනස් අර genome එකට වැඩිය වෙනස් KD එකට වැඩිය වෙනස් මේ XFSC graphical interface එක. ලස්සනයි එකත් නේ. So you can see already necessary packages are already installed මේ. Office package, LibreOffice කියලා කියන්නේ Microsoft වගේම Office package එක open source. LibreOffice. Cal කියන්නේ Excel එක. Draw කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Draw කියන්නේ LibreOffice Draw. මේක නිකන් අර මේ Corel Draw වගේ scene එකක් මේක. Draw කියන්නේ Corel Draw වගේ එකක්. ඊට පස්සේ if you look at the Impress කියන්නේ PowerPoint එක. Maths කියන්නේ Writer කියන්නේ Word එක. Maths කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මෙහෙම එකක් Windows එකට ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා තියෙන Maths කියන එකට equal එක. Maths කියලාම තමයි තියෙන්නේ මේක ඔය function ලියන්න නම් මම ඒකට කොහොමද use කරන්නේ. These we are using for the different functions maths කියලා තියෙන එක. මෙතන මේකට සිමිල එකක් Windows වල තියෙනවා කියලානේ. අර විදිහම තමයි ඉතින් ලොකු වෙනසක් නැහැ. මේකේ file system ගියාට පස්සේ ඔයාගේ ඔක්කොම ටික පේනවා root එක තියෙනවා. දැන් අපි තියෙන ටික විතරයි පෙන්වන්නේ. මෙතනින් ඕනනම් open කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ desktop එකට යන්න folders open කරන්න නම් මන search මේ තියෙන search එක find application find එක web එක file manager එක මේ තියෙන්නේ අරකම තමයි එන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ මේක terminal එක terminal කියන්නේ command line එක වගේ minimize ඔක්කොම minimize කරන්න. එතකොට මේකේ ඔය එක එකව තියෙන system එකට ගියාම ඔයාලට එක එක කතන්දර තියෙනවා ඉතින්. මේක තමයි command line එක සරලව. If you want to log out from the sessions මෙතන username එක තියෙනවා මෙතනින් lock කරන්න පුළුවන් suspend කරන්න පුළුවන් shut down log out වෙන්න පුළුවන්. log out ගහපු ගමන් restart the shut down the suspend the hibernate the මොකද්ද කියලා අහනවා. shut down මම කරලා පොඩ්ඩක් ඔයාලට පෙන්නන්නම් පොඩි කතාවක්. So I just want to highlight this one. just look at here. When you click on the settings, this is you need to do anyway. Under the network, don't use the network NAT adapters. Use it to the bridge adapters. When you set to the bridge adapters, they will be giving you, if you are having a laptop, they will giving you wireless adapter and the Ethernet adapter. The what is called wireless එක අනිත් එක Ethernet adapter එක. So if you are using the network connectivity through the cable, then you have to use this one. If you are connecting through the Wi-Fi, then you have to use this one, because this computer, the virtual machines will be using, when you say the bridge adapting, they are using the same IP address set to go to the internet. So that's why we are setting the bridge adapter. And even sometimes, if you want, you can set the display to the different levels as well. So not the monitor count actually, sorry. So I'm just setting to the scale factor to the like 150%. But when I look at says invalid settings, right? Now again I'm going to start it. I will share that one. So you can see that is now it's a bit of large screen. Screen එක large නේද? So now we can use the Shashika user and the password to log into it. So I'm going to say, since it's a fresh initial start, that is saying like this. So this is your GUI environment. You can see the 4 different desktop environment as well. So I'll show you. Make it open kara. Then you can go ahead to this one. 4 different desktop environments. See. So these are the benefits that you are getting. You can have a multiple desktop environment, 4 different desktop environment. This is what you really going to see. Four different desktop environment. See, likewise, there are so many things that you can see. The important thing that we need to do is just click on the devices and install the guest additional CD image. This is must. To get the full featured VM environment, like if you want to get the experience like a normal normal machine, right? Not rather than the virtual machines. So install those additional drivers. So when you look at it, this particular driver will be mounted in here. You can see that is mounted. And මෙතන මම කියන්න මේ හැම මේකේ තියෙන ඕන තැනක ක්ලික් කරාට පස්සේ ටර්මිනල් එකක් ඕපන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. මම අපි ඔයාලට කරනවා. නිකන් මේ කමාන්ඩ්ස් මතක තියන් දැනට මෙන්න මෙතන මෙහෙම පෙන්නනවා. මේක කෙලින්ම කරන් තියෙන්නේ මේ vbox additionals.run කියන එක run කරන් තියෙනවා. Just copy and paste it. Sorry. So we have to run it like a administrator root user. So they are installing it. Right. So once you make අනිවාර්යෙන් දාන්න මේකට command එක මේක දැන්ට මතක තියාගන්න root user විදියට මේක run කරන් තියෙන්නේ. As a root user you need to run this one. Just keep in mind this one. This is important. Huh? Just to like මේක කරේ නැති වුණා තවුලක් නැහැ කරොත් හොඳයි ඔයාලට. මොකක් හරි කිරීම ආයි reboot එකක් දාන්න මේකට. දැන්ට දැන් මේ මම තාම ඔයාලට commands පටන් ගත්තේ නැහැ. තාම නිකන් පෙන්නුවා විතරයි. commands පටන් ගත්තා ඔයාලට තේරෙන්නේ මේවා lazy commands. Right. So now you can see you have done the complete the installations, but still we didn't set the uh, proper host name. We didn't do anything here. So here you can see the network configurations will be shown in here. Even if you want to do the time changes, you can do it in here. So likewise, there are so many things that you can do the changes. මෙතන ගියාම අර Windows machine එකක් වගේම තමයි. එකම දේ ටිකක් ඇඩ්වාන්ස් මේක ඔයගොල්ලෝ වැඩ කරගෙන යනකොට. settings editors තියෙනවා මේ. එක එක ඒවා තියෙනවා ඉතින්. මේක ඔයාලට ගොඩක් දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. You can do so many things. Let's say for example, I'll show you that let's say Windows Manager. So if you want to change the style, you can change the styles. You can see පේනවා දැන් මෙතන තියෙන style එක change වෙනවා මේ පේනවා. So that is also possible. So I'm just like this style has been interested for me, like I'm just changing it. Workspace කොහොමද වෙන්නේ, double click කරාම minimize වෙනවද මොනවද මේකේ වෙන්නේ කියලා focus එක දැන් style එක change කරා. So we have changed the styles. So now again we can go to the control settings and we can look at the desktop. We can look at the desktop. So you can see the desktop environment, the same thing, like menu icons. You can change what is the menu icons. If you really require, you can change those things. If you want to have a different type of desktop environment, you can do those things like let's say for example මේක background changes කරන්න ඕන නම් wallpapers වෙනස් කරන්න ඕන නම් මේකට තව වෙන ඒවා දාන්න පුළුවන්. දැන්ට මේක දාන්න බෑ මුකුත්. මේක ඔයාලට ඕන නම් දාන්න පුළුවන්. That is also possible. So under this like settings, you can see the display. So the display environment that will be giving you like මේ display හදන්න බෑ ඔයගොල්ලෝ අර මෙන්න මේ guest additions ටික දාලා තිබ්බේ නැත්නම් resolutions change කරන්න බෑ. Right. So you can see still that is not changing the resolutions. So likewise, you can see the changes here. පේනවද මේක ඔයගලන්ට? Right. So this is just about the installation. Let me check that one. This is just about the installations and how you are going to way forward. Right. So now it's up to you to show me your assignment, how you have done it and where you have stopped it. Like මං බැලුවට පස්සේ ලකුණු 10ක් හම්බ වෙනවා මේකට මට ඔයාලා පෙන්වන්න ඕනේ ඒක. Installation එක පෙන්වන්න ඕනේ. To practices through the GUI. So the whole purpose of this system administration course is to deliver your like you will be getting a knowledge on how to manage the Linux machine through the command lines. So by using the terminal. So we are going to learn so many things there. So most of the commands like you will be learning while we completing this one, at least you will be learning like 100 commands, but it's up to you to enhance your knowledge because we can't do anything like we will be just doing the teachings and then so the enhancement part has to be done by yourself because we can't do anything that there at that point. So guys, practice, install it, practice it, so you will be like getting experience, real world experience with this one of these Linux operating systems. So that will be easy for you to once you find the jobs. So whenever you go for interviews, so whenever you want to find the jobs, so that will be pretty much straightforward and easy. So keeping in mind that one. With this, we will be going to wind up your lectures for today, and let's start on next Tuesday, like about like because this is just installations and we just go through the installation and we should know the the rest of the things after that. So let's start the rest of the things on next Tuesday onwards. So next Tuesday onwards, we are going to learn so many practical concepts and how we are going to manage the Linux environment. That is the whole purpose, whole idea on the from the next week onwards what we are going to learn. Like there will be like so we almost completed like 1 or 2 weeks. So there will be another 13 weeks to most of the time 13 weeks to complete your lecture sessions. So within 13 weeks, we definitely going to complete your lectures. Okay, so we'll meet on next Tuesday, and I'll send you the Zoom links at next Tuesday. Until then, have a safe week and stay safe. Goodbye and good night, guys.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye. The people who missed today's assignment, please submit you on the next day. Otherwise, you won't get any marks. It's a 0 marks.